Number 4 says, use the given conditions to write an equation for the line in slope-intercept form. So almost the same thing we're doing here. I want to start out with point-slope form of a line. We already have the slope and we have a point that's given. So that would be y minus 2, that's my y value, equals 2 for the slope. X minus a negative 3 would make it be a positive 3. Okay, so this is again point-slope form. The directions say slope-intercept form. So that means I need to distribute the slope, get y by itself, so I add 2, so I would have y equals 2x plus 8. And so that would be your equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, we're going to look at a little bit of graphing problems, how you can use slope to graph an equation. Number 5, if we look at the form that this line is in, y equals negative 3/4 x minus 2, it's in slope-intercept form. The y equals mx plus b. So that means from looking at the equation, I can tell that m is negative 3/4 and b is negative 2. So remember, b is our y-intercept, so you would plot that point first. On the y-axis, I would be at negative 2. And then my slope is negative 3/4. If it's a negative slope, I know that that line should be going down to the right. Sometimes we think of slope as being rise over run. If you've heard that before, that means the top number is how my line is changing vertically. The bottom number is how it's changing horizontally. So if I have a negative, I usually attach that negative to the numerator. So that means from my y-intercept, I would need to go down 3, and then I'm going to run or go to the right 4. And that's where I could put a new point and then graph my line. So on the computer, if they ask you to graph using the y-intercept and the slope, then they're going to be looking to make sure you actually plotted that y-intercept first and then use your slope to count. So my line's going down because I had a negative slope. Okay, these two, 6 and 7, are kind of the special equations. X equals negative 4. If it's only x equal to a constant, this is always a vertical line. Okay, always a vertical line. If I tried to do an XY chart, since it says x equals negative 4, that means every x value would be negative 4, no matter what I had for y. So if I plotted that, it would form, negative 4, 0, negative 4, 1, negative 4, 2. It would form a vertical line. Okay, so anytime you see x equal to a number, that's a vertical. The slope of a vertical line is undefined. Okay, or we say that sometimes we say that it has no slope. Okay, vertical line would have an undefined slope. Number 7 is going to be just the opposite. That's a horizontal line. So it says y is equal to negative 3. Okay, for a horizontal line, the slope is always 0. Okay, if I wanted to graph it, I would just go to negative 3 on the y-axis, since this says y. On the y-axis, draw a horizontal line. Okay, and it kind of makes sense. If the line's flat, it's going to have a 0 slope.